Welcome to this session on data snooping attacks. I'm Harry, and today we'll be exploring how attackers can gain unauthorized access to your sensitive information through these covert techniques. In this presentation, we'll walk through the motivations, methods, and advanced strategies that we can use in our data snooping attacks. We'll also cover some real-world examples to highlight risks involved and discuss the steps an organizations can take to mitigate these attacks effectively. Understanding data snooping attacks is going to be essential for anyone working with AI systems, as these attacks target the confidentiality and integrity of our information, putting businesses and individuals at pretty serious risk. So let's get started. So, what are data snooping attacks? Data snooping attacks are all about unauthorized access to sensitive information. These attacks occur when an attacker exploits AI systems to extract private data that should have remained secure. The key idea here is that the data isn't just accessed, it's taken without permission from the system or storage. The main goal of these attacks can vary, ranging from stealing valuable information to gaining an advantage over competitors, or even causing harm to a company's reputation. Whether it's financial records, customer data, or confidential business plans, snooping attacks aim to exploit access points to obtain and misuse this information. Now, let's dive into what drives the attackers to engage in data snooping. One common motivation is going to be financial gain. This could involve selling stolen data on the black market or using it for insider trading. Corporate espionage is going to be another factor. This is where attackers seek to steal information to get a competitive advantage over a rival or sell it to other corporations. In some cases, attackers can use the stolen data for extortion or blackmail. This would pressure victims into meeting their demands. And then finally, in political contexts, data snooping may be used to influence elections or damage the public's trust by leaking manipulated or private information. The attacker's goal here isn't just to steal the data, but it's also to exploit it for significant personal or organizational advantage. So let's look at some of the techniques here. There's various methods that attackers can use to conduct data snooping. One technique is exploiting the weaknesses in how data is handled. For example, poorly managed storage systems or weak encryption can make sensitive data very easy to access. Model access exploits involve finding vulnerabilities within the AI systems. This would allow attackers to pull confidential information without detection. Social engineering is another common method. This is going to be where attackers will manipulate employees into sharing access or sensitive details, like phishing. Finally, query injection attacks allow attackers to craft specific queries that bypass security measures, and it will allow them to retrieve the protective information directly from the system. There are also more advanced techniques that attackers can use. Side channel attacks exploit indirect data leaks through system behaviors. This is going to be such as processing times or power consumption patterns. Attackers can also misuse APIs, accessing endpoints that are not properly secured to retrieve private data. Another method is going to be data correlation. This is where public data is pieced together to infer private details. In more sophisticated attacks, credential theft becomes a key tool. This is where stolen passwords or access tokens allow direct entry into restricted systems. These advanced techniques make data snooping complex and an ever-evolving threat. So what are some of the impacts that we're going to see of data snooping attacks? A major concern is the occurrence of data breaches, where confidential information is exposed to unauthorized parties. This can lead to financial losses, as businesses are going to be forced to address the breach, pay fines, or compensate affected users. Companies may also face regulatory penalties. If the breach involves violation of privacy laws, uh, beyond financial damages they might incur, these attacks are going to damage the company's reputation. eroding consumer trust and harming the long-term relationships that companies have with their stakeholders. As you can see, the ripple effects of these attacks from a single snooping attack can extend far beyond the immediate data loss. Now let's take a look at some real-world examples. Chatbot data extraction involves crafting queries that manipulate chatbots into revealing sensitive information. Information like personal or financial data. In financial platforms, the attackers will exploit weak access controls to steal banking or investment data. Social media platforms are often frequent targets as well, where the APIs are going to be abused to harvest user information on a relatively large scale. These examples demonstrate how data snooping can occur in different environments. From financial services to everyday social networks, posing a risk to individuals and organizations in the long term. So, how do we defend ourselves against these attacks, and how can we basically mitigate these threats? Let's look at some of the strategies we have here. First, we have secure data handling protocols. These are going to be essential to ensure that data is properly protected at all stages, from processing to storage. Regular security audits are also going to be a key thing here, helping organizations identify vulnerabilities before attackers can exploit them is key. Education of users is another crucial step. Employees should be trained to recognize phishing attempts, social engineering tactics, and many other interactions that they might have with malicious actors. And then lastly, real-time anomaly detection systems can help spot unusual activities such as abnormal access patterns and stop attacks before the significant damage occurs. So, to wrap things up, data snooping attacks are going to be quite a significant threat, targeting the confidentiality and integrity of our information systems. These attacks take advantage of vulnerabilities in data handling and system access, with motivations ranging from financial gain to competitive espionage. The impact can be severe, both financially and reputationally. However, with strong security practices, user education, real time monitoring, organizations can significantly reduce their risk of these attacks. Going forward, it's going to be essential to stay vigilant and continue to improve your defenses to safeguard sensitive data.